everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Pew.
Good morning. Or afternoon.
That's your line.
Or evening.
Yep, that's the line.
It's because I always forget.
It's always unique and original. Something that we've never heard before.
Never heard before.
Unprecedented.
Oh, brother, ask me the number.
Well, first of all, do you know what episode this is?
Oh, this is, I think, episode 30.
Here's what's crazy, is that we're in episode 30 for the year, which is a lot of episodes.
That's a lot.
And you needed to, by the episode 37, know what the number is in case people want to text in.
Correct.
Do you know? Here we are, episode 30. I don't even know if that's accurate. I'm just going with it because
go with it.
Normally you're pretty accurate with the things that you say.
Most of the time.
So
I think I have a 98% record.
If you said it's episode 30, I'm going to trust you on that. Do you know what the number is that people can call in, text in, whatever? What's that number?
330-331-6453.
It's excellent.
Ask me how I know it.
How do you know that?
Because I told you last week, I'm going to remember because I subtract 2 from the 6 and 2 from the 5.
Okay. That and you have a photographic memory that we've already established. We've already established you have a photographic memory. And,
listen, I will never forget. 6 minus 2 is 4,
Yep.
so 6, 4, and then 5 minus 2, 3. 5, 3.
Yep. So how do you start with the 6 though, and the 4? So like when
don't mess me up. There's a system.
Well, I'm saying because 7 minus 2 is 5. So why do you know to start with a 6 as opposed to a 7?
Huh?
So you said 6 minus 4 is 2, so you know it's 6, 4, and 5 minus 2 is 3.
Correct.
But I'm saying 7 minus 2 is 5.
But
so
where am I getting
how do you know it starts with a 6?
Logic.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, it makes sense to me. And
Listen, we are glad people are tuning in all around the world to Beyond the Pew. Sad news, though.
It is a sad
It's a little bit of sad news because today it's our final podcast of the year 2022.
The final countdown, or the final one.
Well, it's not a countdown.
Yeah, well,
it's actually the end.
Countdown. You know that song?
I don't know if viewers know you wanted to be a professional singer.
We addressed this already.
On this podcast?
Yeah, on this podcast.
That's right, because you sang for Sean.
Yeah, and you too. You
I
also
did.
sang.
Tom Jones. Yep.
Yeah,
Mine was meant to be funny and kind of like joking. Yours was very serious. You. What song did you sing? As well. You were very serious in your audition.
I was worshiping
So as we
God.
look back at Beyond the Pew in 2022, that might have been one of my highlights. Was how
That's
serious.
one of your highlights.
How serious.
You will put that. So as we're looking into retrospective of the year, you will put that on top of the not amusement story.
No, that was good too. Yes, all the amusement was taken out and it was gone. Yes. You know what? Here's the thing. This is our last podcast of 2022. We'll start things back up in January.
Mm-hmm. Taking a little break.
Yep, a little break. And so we are doing kind of a Christmassy / New Year's podcast right now. And so it would be great to have people comment below this video. We have lazy listeners because they don't comment.
They don't.
But if
We
they
have
could
one
comment,
or two that usually comment.
Yeah, a couple do. But if they would comment below, what was your favorite moment from the Beyond the Pew this past year? 30 episodes to choose from.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were going to think it was the amusement park thing. And I know a lot of people were going to think it was your singing audition.
No, it was definitely not.
You were real excited about that singing because
I'm always excited about singing.
You took that very seriously with our.
Anytime that I'm singing to the Lord, I take it seriously.
Well, I don't know that I would say you were singing to the Lord there. I think you were singing to Sean.
Wow.
Because you were hoping to get
questioning my heart.
You were hoping to get discovered.
Discovered? Like what is this, American Idol?
You were hoping to get discovered.
The American Idol version.
As we approach Christmas,
yeah,
I know people have a lot of different Christmas traditions. Right, they have a lot of different Christmas traditions. What would be something that you would say, Pastor Erick Gill, MDiv, that you would say is one of your Christmas traditions or things that you most enjoy?
Yeah.
As a family, as an individual, church-wise, whatever it may be. What would you say?
Okay, well, Reverend Bruce Rosa. So on my case is very interesting because I didn't celebrate Christmas all throughout my life. You know, I started celebrating Christmas the American way, like when I got married, so 5 years ago.
Yep.
So I guess the most traditional thing that we have done is for the first 3 years of our marriage, we will go buy a Christmas tree, like an actual Christmas tree.
Nice.
There was 1 year where we didn't buy it, so maybe really 2 times we bought it. I think it's 1 year we went.
So is it really a tradition? If you've only done it, I mean,
Well, what do you want me to say?
well, I'm not asking you to make anything
My
up.
tradition has been get presents.
You get very upset. Don't get
Well,
upset. Don't get upset.
It's like you asked me a question.
Normally when someone says, "Hey, what's a tradition?" It's like we do this every year.
You tell me what's my tradition.
Listen, most of the time when people are like, "Hey, what's a Christmas tradition you do?" It's like, "Yeah, every year we." And this is what you just said. Well, I don't celebrate Christmas. I've celebrated for 5 years, and what we do, well, not every year. 2 years we did this. That's not really a Christmas tradition.
Well, it's the most recurring thing I've done for Christmas.
2 years. That's it.
2 years we went and bought an actual real tree.
Okay.
To a Christmas farm. We went there and we cut it down.
Christmas farm.
A Christmas farm.
You mean a Christmas
or a
tree
Christmas
farm?
tree farm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
It can be.
Yeah.
That's good. So that would be the tradition. You like to go.
Not anymore because we're not doing it. We
So
have
it's not a
fake
tradition. Okay. So it's not even a tradition.
Okay. So
I'm asking you.
So give me an example. Give me an example of a tradition.
This is not one that I'm proud of, and it's not something that I necessarily am wanting the world to know. But I'm going to tell the whole world right now.
Wow.
On Beyond the Pew.
What is the whole
This
world?
is the first time that they're going to hear it publicly stated. Is that my wife does an excellent job of buying matching Christmas pajamas for our whole family, and I'm included in that. And I'm not very proud of that, but I play along just because my kids, I think, enjoy that, and we always take a picture. That very rarely makes it beyond just our household, of all of us in Christmas pajamas, matching.
You're out here acting like you don't like it, but
pajamas.
you love it.
I don't.
You probably wear those pajamas besides that day.
No, I do not.
Or beyond that day.
Nope, I don't. And so that's a tradition, though, that my wife really enjoys, is buying Christmas pajamas that are matching pajamas.
How long have you been doing that? Because apparently it has to be more than 2 years. Have you done it for more than 2 years?
Okay. I haven't always participated in it. Like a lot of times, my wife would just buy the pajamas like for the girls, like so they were matching. But yeah, so recently though, it's been more Christmas pajamas for the whole family.
So what's the reason?
I really don't know how many years it's been. But that would be one tradition that my wife, I think, enjoys, is Christmas pajamas. Boy.
So what is the best Christmas present that you ever gotten?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, as a pastor, I'd say the greatest Christmas gift that's ever been given is Jesus. Eric.
Well, it was not a Christmas gift.
And, well, I mean, he came. That's what we celebrate at Christmas.
But it was not for
the
Christmas.
gift of God's Son would be.
He actually did not come on Christmas time.
Well, that's what we're celebrating at Christmas. So if you're saying what's the best Christmas gift, I'd say the very reason
Well, aren't you
for the
celebrating
season. The reason
Santa Claus?
I don't know who Santa Claus is, but if
Who's
it's
Santa Claus?
Santa Claus? Yes,
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
Yes.
Yes.
What did I say?
You said Santa Claus.
Well,
But,
maybe there's a clause in
No,
it.
I don't celebrate Santa Claus because Jesus is the reason for the season, Eric. But
wow,
but, yes,
is that a T-shirt?
It is.
It
It
can be a
is.
t-shirt.
It's a saying people give. But I would say the greatest Christmas gift I ever got. As a child, one of the things I remember getting as a kid, two great moments as a kid I remember Christmas gifts. And my mom was always great. My mom and dad always were wanting to get us the Christmas gift we wanted to get, but my mom was like really always hyped up about the gifts for the kids. And she's like that now with my kids, with her grandkids. But there were two that stand out in my mind. One was I don't know if you know it's still, they're not the same as they are now, but we used to have scooters when I was a kid that weren't just like the mini ones, like the small ones, you know what I'm talking about, but they were like full-size scooters that you would pedal on.
Yeah.
And I wanted this green, it was like neon green and white scooter that I really wanted. And I remember getting that for Christmas the one year, and that was real exciting. And then the other one was when I got a Sega Genesis.
I remember the Genesis.
Yeah, Sega Genesis.
Nice.
I was really wanting a Sega Genesis, and I got one, and that was exciting. And same with Nintendo when Nintendo was big. So those would be kind of those moments where I was like super excited.
How many
about
times
gifts.
did you hit your chins with it?
Did I hit my shins with what?
With that scooter?
Not many.
Not many.
No, nope. It wasn't really a shin hitter.
It was for me.
But for scooters,
Yeah.
Okay.
Every time I'll try to do a spin, hit right on the chin.
Nice.
And there was nothing. I mean, between that and stepping on a
shin.
Lego, those are hard.
hard. Those are hard moments.
Yeah, hard
How about
moments.
for you? Best Christmas gift?
I think that it would have either been a Nintendo 64. Yeah, back in the days, Nintendo 64. And then, or I used to collect kind of like G.I. Joes, but not G.I. Joes, but more like a tiny soldiers figure. I used to collect those, and so my parents bought me some.
Nice.
But
Yeah, those are memorable moments.
that's a memorable moment. Yeah.
Memorable moments. You know, Christmas is one of those times a year where a lot of people go to church that don't normally go to church. And so it's interesting because when we talk about Christmas and most memorable moments and all that, most of the time when people ask what memorable moments, their most memorable moments have to do with family,
Yeah.
right? As far as personal relationships, family, gifts that have been given. It's interesting, though, that when we think about Christmas and the most people go to a church is during Christmas time, during Easter time, that a lot of times what gets lost at Christmas is, and this is, I think, a commercialization of Christmas, obviously, is the reason as Christians we celebrate it, right?
Yeah.
So it's always a challenge to me thinking about Christmas of not letting the day pass
Yeah.
without really, truly embracing and like being thankful for what we're celebrating.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know that can be like, oh, let's bring it all back to, what's the real reason for the season?
What's the
But it's
the
true, right?
season
I mean,
to
it's
the
true.
reason?
I think sometimes we can do that with different holidays, Christmas being one of them.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to me in the midst of that, it is one of the most attended times of the year for church services is Christmas. And as much as we've commercialized things, people still have this mindset and bent towards church
Yeah.
when Christmas comes. So I think it's a good challenge for people listening of like, hey, be ready for spiritual conversations
Yeah.
at Christmas time because family, friends, they're celebrating the birth of Jesus, right? In some capacity if they're celebrating Christmas. And so it provides a lot of opportunities and open doors for conversations
for
about
sure.
the gospel and about Christ. So,
Well, yeah, and you think about all the families getting together on the 25th. You know, our family will get together on the 24th in the day after New Year's Eve.
Okay.
That's what's like our biggest dinner. But like you think about that those moments, like you have all like for the most part, you have big family gathers,
Yep.
and where you have family members do not believe in the gospel. They don't understand why you, as a Christian, follower of God, they may joke about you. They may have say comments, and yet they come to your home or you go to their homes, and you have there an opportunity to be able to share with them what you said earlier, the greatest gift to ever been given.
Yep.
And so to be mindful of that, I think that's a good reminder. You know that let's not get so caught up on the presents and all the things that we see around, but to be appreciative of what we have.
yeah. And I think the conversations that can be had around Christmas, pointing people to Christ, are kind of like opportunities that are just ready to go, right? A lot of times we're trying to figure out ways to bring up spiritual conversations or steer a conversation towards Christ. Christmas is an ideal time to talk about Jesus because that's the reason we're celebrating.
Yeah.
And we have services for Christmas here at the church.
We do. Great opportunity to invite your friends or your neighbors if they're they're the type of people that they don't go to church, and you have been waiting for an opportunity to invite them. What a great opportunity to do so.
Yes.
The
Christmas Eve, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, and then the 25th at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. on Sunday morning. Yep, for Christmas Day.
Great
services,
opportunity.
so.
Now, Bruce, I have two questions for you.
Yes.
Just to kind of like looking back into year 2022. Question number one. What, as a teacher of God's Word, as a pastor, as a reverend, as a bishop, as an elder of the Church of Maranatha Bible Church,
Yes.
you have had numerous opportunities to teach God's Word to our people.
Yes. Yes.
What has been your most memorable or either sermon or series that you have done this year? And then the second thing, as you have done ministry this year, what has been your favorite moment in ministry?
Yeah, I would say they kind of go hand in hand. I mean, the Doctrines of Demons series is the one that stands out in my mind that we just recently wrapped up because that was one that was stewing in my mind and planning for the entirety of the year. At the end of 2021, I knew going into 2022 there was going to be a series, Doctrines of Demons, coming up that next fall. So it had been on my mind, on my heart for almost a year by the time the actual series got here and I was able to preach it. So for me, that's the most, I think, memorable moment. But I also would say it stands out to me as most kind of rewarding moment as well because there was such a responsiveness from people to that. There were 4 messages in that series that I preached that were hard messages to preach, but I think important and necessary. And it was the most rewarding time, too, because there was so much feedback I received. Phone calls, texts, social media messages, emails, mostly positive and good, some that were critical, but, it was good to hear from another perspective. And so I think that was probably both the one I enjoyed preaching the most because they were issues that I think everybody is wrestling with and the culture we're in is wrestling with, but also was the most rewarding because there was such good feedback from it, and people who were encouraged, people who were challenged, people who maybe challenged me on some things, and it was just a great all around time as far as with that series. So that stands out to me right away as something that I really enjoyed and was really challenged by. So
That's awesome.
yeah. How about for you, ministry?
Yeah, I think teaching wise, I did a series on the fruit of the spirit, and I think that I really did enjoy doing that. I have never done I have taught on the fruit of the spirit, but never done a series where I look at all the particular aspects of the spirit. Like we will say that is one fruit that is formed by all those different aspects, right? And so that series is what we did. We look at individually. We look at one of those aspects, right? And to be able to dive in and see in what is that the Bible teaches about those things, that was very rewarding.
Yeah.
For me personal, and then to the students. But like for me, as I'm doing the study, as I was going over it, like I was challenged by it just myself, right?
Yeah.
And then to have the opportunity to teach that, it was, I would have never thought of that because you grew up here in the fruit of the spirit. If you've been in church long enough, you memorize a song. If you've been to
Sure.
Awana or whatever it's called now, you kind of get accustomed to that.
Yep.
But to be able to like dive in and look specifically at one of those things, that was really rewarding. What it meant to walk by the Spirit.
Yeah.
It was sweet. And then for me, a memorable moment in ministry happened this summer. We were at camp with some of our students, just to see our students making decisions. Like it's always rewarding to see young kids and young guys, young girls being willing to take a step of faith and to being willing to take either believing the gospel the first time or to say, I'm going to be different than everybody else and I'm going to follow Jesus with my life.
Yeah.
It's always rewarding. And so to be able to see that firsthand was amazing. I remember looking back, we had a girl in the middle school that trusted Christ. And then at the very next baptism that we had, she wanted to get baptized. She couldn't wait. And to see her just herself saying like, I believe in this message and I wanted to take the step of obedience. It was awesome.
Yeah. That's rewarding.
It's really rewarding. And so I would say that was probably a highlight for me this year. As the year's coming to an end.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love for people to comment, not that they will, but comment below as well. What was the most challenging thing to them?
Yeah.
As far as whether it was in a Bible study or preaching on Sunday morning or their ABF or if they're adult Bible fellowship or the Connect groups. What was it maybe that God challenged them the most with from His Word this past year?
Yeah.
And kind of how God used that in their life. There should be a lot of examples of how God challenged us.
What is something that you're looking for next year?
Yeah, I mean,
are you doing a series? Are you you have anything in store for us? Is it kind of on that low or D-low or
no? I mean,
surprise?
this coming year, obviously, we'll be working through 1 Corinthians in the coming year as we just started that series, and so that's going to be I think a very relevant and beneficial series. I'm working on right now putting together a 4-week series that's going to be happening in 2023, and I don't have information about that
Doctrines
yet
of Angels
to throw out there. But yeah, some great things I think as far as the preaching content that will be
good.
I think good and relevant. And so I'm excited about that. Excited about just to see what the Lord does. I mean, obviously, from one year to the next, if anything, we've seen a post-COVID world. Like you don't know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And from 1 month to the next, from 1 week to the next, and so it'll be interesting to see how the Lord continues to provide, continues to open doors of opportunity ministry-wise. I'm excited for our church in 2023. I feel like we have a tremendous opportunity for outreach and for ministering the gospel to people. I think we have a fantastic church family, and so I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah. There are definitely a lot of things to look forward. I'm looking forward to the new ministry we're starting. Young adults ministry.
Yes. Yep.
I guess starting in the sense that we're expanding the reach, whereas in the past was just college. Now we're trying to reach those that are out of college that are finding a place to belong, and they haven't found it in the church because everything that we have may not be not necessarily tailored towards them, but inclusive for them. You know, and so to be able to have something for that, to be able to build a platform of community for them, I'm excited for that. But I'm also, like you said, like when you think about our church, like, you think us, and I'm thinking our pastoral team. I think that for once, our pastoral team right now, it seems to be complete.
Yeah.
To be able to see all the different ministry working at foot full effect, to see what the impact that's going to have with our people is going to be awesome.
I agree.
So that's something to look forward to.
I agree.
And if you're listening and you don't go to Maranatha, I'm sorry you're missing out, but it's truly a great church.
Yes, and
check us out.
I am excited about Beyond the Pew in 2023.
Yeah.
We'll have some, I think, good content and things that will be helpful for people.
Some small series.
Yes, we're going to start doing a couple little series for Beyond the Pew and some different guests in the coming year. And so I hope people will continue to
tune in,
share it,
start sharing with people. Listen, there's our topics that are relevant. And if you don't think that they're relevant, then text us to the number, which is 330-331-6453, and then let us know what topics you want us to address, and we will address it because that's how we roll.
Yeah,
that's how we roll.
You're feeling confident
because I know the number. I feel
feeling confident today.
Yeah.
One thing before we wrap up, give me a bold prediction about Deshaun Watson. He's starting for the Cleveland Browns this coming Sunday.
Yeah.
First start. After 2 years of not playing in the NFL.
Yeah.
What is your predictions about how Deshaun Watson's going to be?
I think that he's going to be a stream of both. I think that he either going to be incredibly amazing, where he's going to, play like a superstar, or he's going to be terrible. I don't think there's going to be
See, you have to pick one.
Well, why don't you answer for me?
No, I'm asking.
You don't like my answer for my Christmas tradition. Sorry that I didn't have Christmas.
No, but with Deshaun, you're kind of you're hedging your bets both ways because unless he goes incredible, you're going to be like, oh,
no, because the other option is he could be okay.
But what's okay mean?
Okay is I think Jacoby Brissett has been a little bit over okay. I think he's been a good manager of the team, or team manager, but I don't think he's amazing.
Okay, so you don't want to take a stand either way. You're afraid. You're afraid to
no,
make a prediction.
No, I'm not afraid. He's gonna be amazing.
Okay. What does that mean?
He's gonna.
So how many touchdown passes is he gonna throw?
What does that look? How many did Josh Allen?
Too many to count. How many do you think that Josh?
How many? I bet you. I don't bet you because I don't bet. But my guess will be that he will, and this will be my bold statement, that he will have as many touchdowns as Josh Allen will have this week.
Really? Are you willing to make a wager on that? Not financially.
Thank you for the
How confident are you in that? Because I'm willing to make a bet about that.
What are you willing to do?
Well, you tell me what you're willing to do. How about man, I gotta think of something good. Because I think there's no way that's going to happen.
How many touchdowns do you think Josh Allen is going to get
this week?
Yeah,
I think Josh Allen's going to have.
Who do you guys play?
The Patriots. I think Josh Allen's going to have.
The Patriots defense has been really good.
I think Josh Allen's going to throw for 3 touchdowns this week and rush for a touchdown.
So 4.
I think he'll have 4 total touchdowns this week.
You don't think that homeboy is going to get 4 touchdowns?
I don't know who do you mean by homeboy?
What's his name again?
Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson, yeah.
He's your quarterback, man. Aren't you a Browns fan? Aren't you a Browns fan?
Yeah, but
you don't even know your quarterback's name?
Yeah, I know. Brissett. Jacoby Brissett.
I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to have 4 touchdowns.
They're playing Houston, Texas.
I still don't think he's going to have 4 touchdowns.
Okay, well, we'll see.
I think Deshaun Watson's going to have 2 touchdowns.
Maybe
2.
Josh Allen will get 2 touchdowns.
I think he's going to have more
if he keeps playing the way he's been
But
playing.
anyhow, so how confident are you in this prediction?
Listen.
You're not
I'm
confident.
You're not confident. I'm only confident that the Lord died for my sin and that He rose from the dead.
Amen.
So that's where I base all my trust.
So you're not confident. I get it. I wouldn't be either, but we'll see. Maybe he'll surprise people.
Yeah,
it's just 2 years off.
No, he'll surprise you. He's not going to surprise me.
We will, because you're obviously not confident.
I just don't want to.
That's fine.
It's the alternative of losing.
We are done with Beyond the Pew for the year 2022. We'll be back in 2023.
It's been awesome. It's been a great journey, great memories.
Yes.
Great conversations, great challenging, great mistakes, great corrections.
Really? Okay.
Great statements. And still, the Bills haven't won a Super Bowl.
Well, I don't think the Browns have either, have they?
No, but I just wanted to throw that in there.
That's fine. Yeah, I have nothing to hide here. That's fine, and I'm not feeling real confident about the Bills right now because
you're not.
Oof,
yeah,
they're shaking. I'm a realist here. I can be real. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat things.
Yeah.
It is
if you had $1,000 right now to spend it on anything, what would you do with it?
If I had $1,000 to spend on anything right now. I don't know. I really
Give it to Shoshana?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's what we wanted to end with.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys.
Yes. We do have a question we like to ask.
Yes, we do.
And normally our guests do not know the answer to this.
No,
but you know the answer to this.
Yeah.
Pastor Eric.
Oh, I know the question.
What's the question?
Yeah. What does your life looks like beyond the pew?
Yes, we hope it is honor to the Lord. We'll be back in 2023. So come
Merry
back.
Christmas and Happy
We'll let
New
you know.
Year.
Yep. Have a great holiday season.
Yeah.